What is good, everybody? Hope you're all doing well. You better be crushing life. Now in today's video, we are selling another car, but I'm going to cut to the chase. We are not selling the Shelby. We're actually going to take the Shelby right now to go check out the progress on the 1993 Ford Bronco that's white that we're painting green, not pink, not purple. I know, everybody's sad. Everybody says, why do I close the garage that way? I gotta keep my agility up, my quickness, my speed. As always, just cool. It's also just a lot easier to get into the car that way. Down, settle, in. While we're driving, I got some sad news for y'all. I do not weigh 280 anymore. Yes, correct. I've lost some lbs. I'm like 273. It's better, I'm healthier, I feel good about it, but maybe I should try to get to 300 pounds, but in a healthy way. I don't know. You know when you're cruising down the highway and you're going under the speed limit, you want to give it a little pull, and there's a vehicle behind you that you don't think it's a cop, but it could be. I don't dare do a pull right now because I don't want to go to jail. But maybe just maybe one. Okay. I probably should be more worried about filming while driving than doing a pull. Okay, that was a cop. He got behind me for a little bit after that baby pull. I didn't speed. I just obviously he's loud and obnoxious, so he followed me for a second. But then he went his own way. So we're good. This is not a pulled over going to jail video. So I don't know how far along Dave is. I assume, I mean, we might see a couple panels that are done and finished product, but I imagine he's barely started. So I'm super excited, super nervous. I hope the green looks good. We got another undercover cop. Just be cool, be cool. We're gonna exit the freeway and just move on with our lives. Yep. Hello. Rolling up to Dave's shop. There's the bumper. Yeah, we need to find a bumper. All right, folks, here we are. We made it to the shop and the Bronco is in pieces. We just brought it in like literally a couple days ago, so not, you know, we've got no paint on it yet. Obviously it takes time. There's tons and tons of prep work, but look at this. This thing, it's weird that it's in pieces, but it looks better already. Is that weird? The only piece I'm gonna need to replace, as far as we know right now, is the front bumper. We need a new front bumper. The current one is chrome. It's not gonna sit well with all the black and the green. So we need a new front bumper so we can paint match it and so forth. So that's on me. So when I pick up this car and it's done with everything except the front bumper, that's my fault, mark my words. Every time I see this thing though, I forget how big it is with the tires and the lift. This thing is truly a beast. Check out all the sanding that's done, all the prep work. It's hours and hours of just prep to get things ready. We're gonna get inside of here as well, nice and clean, nice and finished up. We had some door trim right here. We elected to take off the door trim. We're not gonna put door trim back on. And we're doing this all proper for sure. We're even gonna do the door jam. So we're gonna do it full send, correctly, proper, which is uncharacteristic for me, I know. But yes, we're gonna make this all look clean, continuous, and do it proper. I should swap out the speakers while we're doing this too and get this thing bouncing, but next time. I mentioned how much I wanna get this top off and cruise around with this thing with no top, but we are gonna paint this top different than here. We're gonna go black, right? So black and green, and it should tie all nicely together, should. Dave knows what he's doing, I don't. Here's the progress on the back. As you can see, we are not that far away from painting. Ivan here is working like a champion, getting things done. I can't believe how quickly we've gotten it torn apart and how quickly we're gonna have this thing painted back at home, looking proper. Now Dave's gonna start painting this bit first before we get the rest of the car. So we are gonna see an update with that painted, some of the door jambs and so forth. So we're gonna see kind of the color scheme. I'm also gonna have to have Dave teach me how to actually remove this, because I would just, I mean, obviously me, I'll just pick it up and move it, but there's probably more complex than that. So obviously Dave's got a lot of work left to do and I'm of no help to him here. They're gonna finish the sanding now, put some primer on, do some more wet sanding, paint this separately, then get into final paint of the whole vehicle. And it's amazing that I think they're doing this whole thing in 2 weeks or less, which is, in this day and age, it's impossible to get anyone to do anything. And Dave's like, yeah, we're gonna get this done. He's getting it done, which is, that's incredible. And then just so you guys can see as well, this side has been worked on. So they are making heavy progress in just 2 days. They've gotten a lot done. And as you can see, the grill, yep. All right, so we're gonna roll out, but I got the homework. I got to get a front bumper for the 93 Bronco. Also, I talked to Dave about of the holes right here. He's gonna get this patched up, no problem. But again, I'm gonna have to unwrap this whole thing, take the boot lid off. And does that mean that we unwrap the rest of the car or not? As we roll through, let's acknowledge the Chevy and then of course the Bentley and everything else in between. That orange Camaro SS though, that's nice. I'm gonna apologize to you right now because we're turning left and you're gonna be behind me and it's gonna get loud. I hope you enjoy it, but you might be upset. Just gentle warming up, preparing her. Yeah, sorry, not sorry. Oh, it just, oh, there. It's just stupid. Seriously, the Bronco, so excited. Now, the car I'm selling, as you guys know, last video I had some issues with the Bentley. And as you guys can see, the Bentley is not here, but don't worry, I have not, nor am I selling the Bentley. At least not right now. Unless more stuff breaks and I can't pay for it, then we're gonna have to talk. Now don't worry, we are not selling our purple plaid Raptor. However, I do have to admit, I've had thoughts creep into my mind, maybe it's time to unwrap the purple plaid, mix it up. It's crazy, it's ludicrous, I know, but they're creeping in. This is the car we will be selling that we're gonna say goodbye to, and I know a lot of you may not even recall that I own this car. That's right, a 2013 BMW X5. I bought this car in 2016. It was a 3-year lease return, perfect condition, $29,000, 29,000 miles. And at that time, it was kind of a big deal. It was a luxurious purchase for me, if you will. And now it's time to say goodbye. Now, you true OGs will recall that a couple years ago, as I was getting into this YouTube stuff, I didn't really have a need anymore for the X5, but I loved it and I wasn't ready to sell it. So what I did was, I gave it to my parents as a, you take it for now and eventually I'll take it back and sell it. And so that's where we're at. The nice thing is, a couple years ago, this was worth maybe $12,000, $13,000. And now, in today's crazy market, it's actually worth anywhere between $17,000 and $20,000. So by loaning it to my parents for a few years, I'm actually gonna get a return on the vehicle, which is pretty cool. Crazy, but cool. Now, as you can see, for being 9 years old, she is still in immaculate condition. She's super clean. The interior is wonderful. I did manage to ram somebody with it a few years ago, but don't worry, that was just the front end, the headlights, the bumper, it's all been replaced, and again, that was years ago. Now obviously that's going to affect the resale value, and we're going to tell the prospective buyer about the incident, show pictures before, during, and after, and all that stuff. But again, that was probably 4 or 5 years ago, and so they can see that it's been fixed up, that everything's wonderful and holding on just like new. She's in great shape, used, but really in great shape. Now the interior obviously is super clean as well. I really liked the tan interior of this vehicle. That's one reason I bought it. My parents take really good care of cars, much better than me, obviously. And I should clarify one thing. I'm not actually gonna sell this car. I'm selling it, but I'm gonna have my dad sell it for me because he's just, he takes care of me. Now, my parents didn't need a car when I gave this to them. They had a Lexus sedan and they were getting ready to sell it and they were gonna buy something else. But I knew they would never spend their money on a BMW or Mercedes, something nice like that. Even though they could, they just wouldn't. So I said, drive the Beamer. I need it to not be here at my house. Drive this for a while, see if you enjoy it, have fun with it, and we'll see what happens. Now, 2-3 years later, the market's gone up. We're almost at 100,000 miles. It feels like the right time to part ways with this beauty. And my parents are gonna go get, I don't know what they're gonna, they don't know what they're gonna get. They're gonna get something. Now, I do have to give credit where credit is due. This has been one of my all-time favorite vehicles, and if I could only have one vehicle ever, forever again, an X5 would be on the list because it's sporty, the size is good, it's been really quite enjoyable. Purple plaid obviously would probably be on top of the list, but if you are in the market for an X5, I highly recommend it. You don't have to buy this one, I don't really care. If you're considering one, I think they're worth it. And I know everyone's commenting now already about, like, if you could have one vehicle, why would you have an X5 instead of like a supercar? I'm talking like one vehicle within a reasonable budget, you know, like the X5s, yeah, they're expensive, but I'm talking like sub $100,000, this is a really great option. Now, one thing to keep in mind, I bought this car when my income was $60,000, $70,000 a year, so this was a big time luxury buy for me at that time. I highly recommend a 3-year owned lease return vehicle. It's been immaculate. I feel like it was the perfect time to buy. I've spent less on repairs and maintenance on this car after 7 years than I have after 2 months of ownership of a Bentley. I mean, obviously, but still. Now, one thing I feel really good about is sticker in 2013, this thing was $65,000 to $70,000. So by buying it 3 years later as a lease return, I only paid $29,000. So there was a $40,000 hit in depreciation that I did not have to take, but I still got a like new under warranty vehicle, which for me at that point, again, was incredible. It's always incredible. Warranties are amazing. Now, I'm not saying any of this to sell the X5 to any of you. We're not going to link the listing below or anything like that. My dad's just going to quietly sell it on his own. I'll give him a little commission and so forth. I'm just keeping you updated and apprised of my fleet, of what's going on. The X5, one of my absolute favorite cars, is going away, but it is paid off. It's fully paid off. So that means, let's say we're going to take 15 grand. That 15 grand, that's right, is going towards mods and other cars. So we're gonna invest that right into the channel, and I think that's what should excite you guys the most. And there you have it, that's the fleet update. Now, if any of you have an opinion of where I should invest that 15 grand into which car, feel free to comment that below. But otherwise, I appreciate y'all sticking around. Wish y'all the best of luck. Make sure you go crush it. Peace.